You've heard about the calls to disarm the police, and obviously the never-ending quest to disarm law-abiding gun owners. But here's one that I think many of us can get behind, and that's disarm the IRS. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It was tax day this week, a day that always serves as a reminder of how awful the IRS is and how no one likes them. Those in the know probably also don't like, or are at least uneasy with the fact that the IRS also has a tactical unit and a huge stockpile of guns and ammo, despite not actually being a law enforcement agency. Now, a Republican lawmaker is working to change that fact with a new bill called the Why Does the IRS Need Guns Act. Courtesy of the based members of the House Freedom Caucus, Rep. Barry Moore of Alabama introduced this bill on Monday, saying it's needed to try and scale back the weaponization of the IRS against the American people. He says that part of the evidence of this is the fact that the IRS has been using taxpayer dollars to stockpile weapons, having spent $10 million on weapons, ammo, and combat gear since 2020. And that was just the numbers as of 2023. According to a watchdog report put out in May of 2023, from 2020 to halfway through 2023, the IRS spent $2.3 million on ammo, $1.2 million on ballistic shields, $474,000 on Smith & Wesson rifles, $463,000 on Beretta 1301 tactical shotguns, and $243,000 on body armor vests. Another $1.3 million was spent on the mysterious line item, various other gear for criminal investigation units. According to the report, the agency has also loaded up on hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of tactical lighting, gear bags, holsters, ballistic helmets, and optics since COVID, despite, again, not being a law enforcement agency and being able to call up the FBI in a pinch. Now, speaking of loading up on ammo, I would like to take a moment to thank a company called Ammo Squared for being a friend to this channel. Ammo Squared is an automated ammo subscription model that makes sure that you have ammo when you want it, and if you're not in the IRS. But unlike traditional subscription services, you are not forced into a set budget or monthly shipments. You pick your calibers, how much or how little you're looking to spend each month, and pick a shipping trigger. All ammo is factory new from brands that you trust and stored in a climate-controlled environment until you're ready to have it shipped to your door. They have over 70 calibers to choose from, no minimum to buy, and no extra fees. All orders are shipped out in 1 to 2 business days, and all orders of $250 or more are shipped completely free. So shout out again to Ammo Squared for being a friend to this channel. Back to the IRS. Them stockpiling guns and ammo certainly is not anything new. I remember hearing about it back in ye old Alex Jones days before he was basically banned from the internet. And indeed, according to this report, the IRS had stockpiled 5 million rounds of ammo for its roughly 2,200 special agents prior to 2020. At the time, the agency owned 4,500 firearms, including 621 pump-action and semi-auto shotguns, 539 semi-auto rifles, and 15 submachine guns, for that extra rat-a-tat-tat. And then, the IRS just went ham. Considering that they've spent $35.2 million on guns, ammo, and military equipment between 2006 and 2023, with almost a third of that just being in that 2.5-year period, that's pretty concerning. Now, the IRS says that they need this for investigating organized crime and drug-related gang activity. But how often is the IRS really kicking in doors with a full SWAT team, and are they really the right folks for the job? There have been plenty of reports that it is overwhelmingly middle and lower class folks that are the ones usually caught up in the IRS's net. Also, don't they have like the FBI and DEA for that? Well, then I guess if they just relied on the FBI and the DEA, well, they couldn't have all those extra bodies just milling around taking up taxpayer dollars with their paychecks. Can you tell how much I dislike the government? Anyway, this bill, which doesn't have a number as of yet, would give the IRS 120 days after the bill's passage to transfer all guns and ammo in its possession or control to the Administrator of General Services, who would then sell or auction the guns to FFLs and the ammo to the general public, and then put the proceeds toward reducing the national deficit. The bill would also prohibit the IRS from purchasing, receiving, or storing firearms and ammo, and transfer the IRS Criminal Investigations Division to be folded into the Department of Justice's jurisdiction. Which, the way that Doge at least claims to be going, might be a more realistic possibility than in years past. In the press release, co-sponsors Mary Miller and Clay Higgins said, "There's absolutely zero justification for wasting taxpayer dollars to arm a federal agency that was never meant to act as an enforcement arm of the government. The IRS doesn't need a stockpile of guns and ammunition, it needs proper transparency, oversight, and accountability. The weaponization of the IRS against working Americans is a threat to our constitutional freedoms. IRS agents should not hit homes and businesses like SWAT teams, and they should not terrorize American families." I should note that Moore told local news outlet 1819 News that this bill is focused on the guns and ammo accumulated since 2020, but the bill itself doesn't make that distinction in the text. And remember, it's no secret that the IRS has been used to target people for their political views. Says Moore, the only thing the IRS should be armed with are calculators. Which is one way to look at it. Frankly, I think that they should all be armed with unemployment checks, but that's neither here nor there. Anyways, that is it for this video. You guys know the drill for all of the algorithm things. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you are new here, ring that notification bell and drop a comment down below. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there and happy shooting. And check under the bed tonight for the armed IRS agents.